It seems that Hugh Jackman Wolverine is back, and DC Flashpoint may be in trouble.
Hey man, why you echoing?
Shut up. What up, YouTube? It's your boy fture, back like I love something, and I'm glad you're here. And you're gonna want to watch this video all the way to the very end, because what we just saw with Hugh Jackman posting up that Wolverine claw, DC Warner Flashpoint, I believe they in super big trouble, and I'm gonna tell you why. But before we get into that, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell, because when you hit that notification bell, it makes me feel oh so good and oh so swell. And I don't even know why I'm making this face like this, but it feels pretty good. Yeah. Also, in the description below, if you choose to, join that Ninja Patreon, be a producer of the fture Show. Every time you donate to the Patreon, it goes right back to the channel. And a lot of people keep telling me, fture, you need to start memberships. I'm considering it because, hey, YouTube doesn't pay us anything. So your contributions to the fture channel helps a lot. Also, in the description below, make sure to support and back that Ninja Blast comic book. We are in the printing process, and I must say, when you get that manga in your hands, it's going to be oh so lovely, because the pages, page by page, story is dope. Page by page, art is dope. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure to back and support that in the description below. Now let's get into some Marvel DCEU news. The internet went nuts. First off, I want to say rest in peace to Richard Donner. He was the man behind the Christopher Reeve's Superman film. Oh man, that film is dope. Now, I know y'all hear me say all the time, Man of Steel is my favorite Superman movie, and this is true. But shout out to Christopher Reeves, because that movie was, it set a very milestone, very high when it came to comic book movies back then. It wasn't cheesy, it was dope. It still holds up to this day. And just big respects to Christopher Reeves and Richard Donner, man. They did an awesome job. And just prayers go out to his family. And I just hope everything is okay. But we got this news right here. Hugh Jackman did something legendary and big. And I keep telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the big three of Marvel. Even though Hugh Jackman wasn't a part of the MCU, I still call it the big three. You got your Robert Downey Jr. Ironman. You got your Chris Evans Captain America. And you got your Hugh Jackman Wolverine. You get one of those dudes back, and Marvel is going to be crushing DC. I'm just keeping it real, and you know I love DC a tad bit higher than Marvel, but that's the way it is. Let's check out this article right here. It says Hugh Jackman hints at Wolverine return in the MCU. Hugh Jackman Instagram story indicates that he may return as Wolverine in the MCU, posting Wolverine fan art and a picture with Kevin Feige. In Jackman's recent Instagram story, the actor similarly teased that he may return as Wolverine. Two images involving Marvel appeared on this Instagram story, including a piece of fan art from Boss Logic and another of Jackman with Kevin Feige. Both of these images can be seen below, as well as his tribute to the late Richard Donner. This is what one of the Instagram posts said. This is from Hugh Jackman. Today we lost one of the most talented, courageous, cheeky, funny, loyal directors to have ever made movies, Richard Donner. Deb and I lost a great friend, Lauren. We send all our love to you and the whole family and the 100s of dolls he rescued. Your movies, stories, your laugh will always be in our hearts. Now, I want to say this. With what we've seen with the pictures, with what we've seen with the images, it could be pushing it, saying that Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is back. But me being a betting man, why would he post that like that? Why would he post that Even though he was giving his roses to Richard Donner, why all of a sudden will he post that with a picture, a brand new picture with him hanging out with Kevin Feige? I think Kevin Feige got a trick up his sleeve because that Doctor Strange multiverse is going down. And I think it's going to introduce the mutants. Everything that's been going on with Marvel lately has been going on with the multiverse. You got your WandaVision with the multiverse. You got Loki with the multiverse. Spider-Man with the multiverse. Everything is multiverse. So I think he's back. Hugh Jackman is back. Hugh Jackman got the same star power as Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans when it comes to the MCU. If they could just get him back. But at the same time, do we really need Hugh Jackman Wolverine back? Because Logan ended the saga oh so well and oh so swell. And my thing is, I think DC is going to be in trouble because DC is coming out with Flashpoint. Flashpoint is supposed to talk about the multiverse and all that stuff to go with it, but it's just not enough off, and we're going to be talking about that later on in the show. But back to Wolverine. Do you think, and let me know in the comments below, do you think Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, is coming back? Or do you think he's not and he just sending his roses? I don't see the reason why, but it would be dope if we could get Hugh Jackman back in the MCU and have Hugh Jackman one of the people in Avengers. I always thought this, if they was going to do the Avengers again, and you know they will, at least put Spider-Man in there now, since Robert Downey Jr. is gone. Put Black Panther in there since Chris Evans is gone, and put who am I thinking about? One more person: Spider-Man, Wolverine, Black Panther. That's it. All three of them. Put them in there, and it's going to be a killer because those three I just named are top tier Marvel characters when it comes to the MCU. Now, I know a lot of people going to be throwing darts at your boy Beta J and say, well, we want the originals. We want the originals are dead. The originals are old, okay? So get over it. Get over it. And plus, those three characters I just named, they have more popularity. Spider-Man and Wolverine alone are the two biggest MCU characters known to man. Like they just like Batman and Superman. So you guys let me know in the comments below, and we fist to talk about now how this Wolverine news, if this happens, could destroy the Hamadaverse, Warner, DC, comics, movies, whatever you want to call it. Let's go. I just want to say this, ladies and gentlemen. DC is just not looking right to me. DC is looking a mess. I peeped out the leaks of Flashpoint and nothing really grabbed me. They keep hinting that we're going to get this big, awesome character. At this point, Walter Hamada doesn't want anything to do with the Snyderverse, but the Snyderverse is needed more than ever right now. You need to start using characters from the Snyderverse. Don't try to bring in new characters to blow our minds. Now, this is the thing. If Marvel brings back Wolverine, if Hugh Jackman is back, that is going to be a hard blow to DC Comics, DCEU films. That's just like if DC brought back Ben Affleck, which rumors say that might happen, but I'm not too sure about that. Or if they bring back Henry Cavill as Superman and put him on Flashpoint. Now, DC Warner, you're going to have to really, if this goes down, you're going to have to really set the tone now, because now Doctor Strange and Flashpoint are two movies that's going to be competing with each other when it comes to the multiverse. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Michael Keaton just not hitting hard enough to compete with a Wolverine Hugh Jackman. Because for one, This generation now that's watching these superhero movies is not the same generation back then that was watching the Keaton movies. You have a brand new fan base. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Batman Return. That's probably one of the coldest Batman joints known to man. But what I'm saying is, what made these movies hit $1 billion is basically a new generation with that old generation. And that new generation, they don't really know about Michael Keaton except for my generation. So, DC, you're going to have to come with it because this was some huge news, and the Wolverine Hugh Jackman stuff is still trending. People are going crazy. Petitions. What am I trying to say? Petitions. There you go. Petitions was raised to get Wolverine Hugh Jackman back. Petitions was raised to get Robert Downey Jr. back. They even had big gigantic billboards to get this man to come back to the MCU. So you guys let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this Wolverine news? Will it put a big dent into what Flashpoint has going on, with DC want to have going on with Flashpoint? Or do you think it won't phase it at all? Get back at your boy Fader J. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell, because it makes me feel oh so good and oh so well. In the description below, become a producer of the Fader J Show and join that Patreon. All show in the description below. Make sure to back that ninja manga comic book by your boy Fader J called Ninja Blast. And now I'm out of here, Ninja Banish.